This episode is brought to you by Megabass America, which, as you can tell, Oliver and I have a problem, and we buy a lot of lures.
Buy? You bought these?
Yeah, oh yeah, just so you know, they're not free. Not everything in life is free. Sometimes when you work for something, you actually have to pay for it, and you actually use it. What?
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's a wild concept.
It is an odd concept, but yeah, on a real note, yeah. These aren't free. We don't get stuff just handed to us, thrown at us all the time. We buy these products and use them because we believe in them. It's as simple as that. I don't promote brands that I don't believe in and don't use on a regular basis on the water.
Just that Big Bass Dream stuff.
Yeah, that phony baloney, but yeah, that's all good. That was my first sponsor. I was kind of desperate, like needed it. It's
yeah, they got pretty low standards, so pretty easy.
They pick up anybody nowadays. I mean, that Tom Westhoff guy from Michigan, he's like,
oh man,
dude, just throwing him on the team. Wow. But yeah. All right.
Oh man, real curious to see your take on some of this stuff.
Who's that?
Yours.
My take on some of this stuff. Listen here.
Yeah.
So we got at least what I have. There's a box for Oliver and a couple boxes for me. Is all geared. A lot of it's geared towards like smallmouth stuff that I'm going to be doing the next month or so, month and a half or so. Nobody knows what's in Oliver's box, so it could be exciting, could be scary. We'll see. See what that says. Pro staff. That's pretty cool.
Terrible.
That's pretty cool. All right. So first box. Which one am I going to open first, Oliver?
Why don't you go with the surprise?
Surprise. That's cool. I'll start off with a surprise. That's good. All right. Over here. First things first. Oliver and I's surprise box. Ready? Got some standards in there. Put that down so I don't hurt anybody. All right. So first things first. We got the staple, Ito Shiner. For those of you that have not fished an Ito Shiner, you're like, what's the point of another jerkbait? This jerkbait actually has a really cool, unique action. It's a little bit bigger profile, as you can see, compared to like a standard 110. It has like a kind of a unique roll that I think is why they really dig it. I catch a lot of largemouth on this bait in particular, in like the grassy stuff. It's kind of nice to snap it through the grass. Does pretty well for me personally. But yeah, that's right off the top there. Looks like we have 2 more boxes of Ito Shiners as well. These are both in the same colors that we just held up. So we got Sexy French Pearl right there. And we have Kohoku Reaction. For those of you that know Oliver, Kohoku Reaction is one of his favorites. What else we got? It's an exciting box, Oliver. We have a lot of packages of the legendary Hazedong Shad. Hear that? Hear that? It's proper pronunciation. Yes. That's for you, Tetsuya. All right, but yeah, these are the 4.2-inch Hazedong Shad. This bait is one of those deals that if you really need to get a bite, this is the way to go. Sorry, I'm distracted there in the background. Hazedong Shad has a real thin profile, so as opposed to like a standard spark shad, it has more of like a flat-sided deal. So I'll open one of these up. This is the green pumpkin shad color. This is one of my personal favorites. But yeah, as you can see, that bait is very flat, very thin. But look at that tail. See how that tail is just, I'm hardly even doing anything and that tail's just going nuts right there in my hand, okay? So that's what's cool about this bait. You barely have to be moving in order to get that thing to be thumping. I personally fish this bait on several different ways. I throw it on an underspin a lot because of the aspect that it's just going to flutter and it's going to fall even when you're dragging it really slow in the colder water. You can also fish it on a jig head many different ways on a regular hook. Oliver probably fishes it a variety of different ways as well. But yeah, that's the Hazedong Shad. Cool bait. Real cool bait. Check these out if you want to get bit. Alright. Now that nonsense is over, the mystery box is over.
Exciting, I know.
It's always exciting. Hey, it's the staples. You gotta get the staples, you know. We're gonna dive right into the little box. This is one I ordered.
Oh, this is rods. I don't see any rods in here.
don't see any rods either, unless maybe the new roaches are really small. Maybe I missed them. Maybe that's what's in this box. Nope, just shiners. I don't know. Magic. Okay, new box. Order slip shows that I paid for it. And what do we got? We got some 110 FXs. Carazeria limited edition. Pretty cool. Megabass DreamWorks. One make custom. The FX, for those of you not familiar with it, is, let me see if I got an original in here. More FX. Okay, here's the silent. It's got a similar bill, similar body style compared to the normal. So yeah, the FX in comparison to the original 110 are the same size, body frame wise. The cool part about the FX bait is, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that bill is laying flat right now. That bill folds up when you cast, okay? So what that does is that enables you to have a more streamlined profile with your bait. As you can see, it's going to enable you to get more distance out of your cast. So when you're dealing with a little bit windier conditions, you're dealing with distance like super clear water where you need to make longer casts, blah, blah, blah. That's when this is going to shine, because you're going to be able to get those extra few yards into your casts and, be able to cast a little bit longer. So that's kind of one of the primary benefits of the FX. There could be a few more details, but that I believe is the biggest difference. We've got some 110 silence here. That is the Kohoku reaction, I believe. This is the clear one. That was the same name. GP. That's what it is.
For
GP
ghost pattern.
Yeah. Those of you that don't know, GP stands for ghost pattern. Just learned that myself. So yeah, so we got a couple of those. We got some more 110 FXs. We got some Pro Blue, the orange belly, and we have, what color is this? I forgot the name of it. Cosmic Shad. That's a cool one. It imitates a lot of bait fish really well, especially northern bait fish where we have a little bit of greens and
alewives,
pinks. Yes, alewives, as Oliver likes to
and
say.
ciscos,
And Cisco's.
tulibies.
I don't know if we have tulibies up here or not, but
It's also the same name for a cisco.
okay, that makes sense. Yes.
Or a different name for the same fish.
Okay, so here is MG Wakasaki in a 110 Junior.
Ooh, I like that one.
A little bit of a finesse, a little more of a finesse style deal. A lot of times in springtime around the Great Lakes, our fish eat little bait fish, little deals. Sometimes it can really make a difference if your bait is a little bit smaller as opposed to, full size. I believe this is like 90 millimeters as opposed to 110 millimeters, hence the number and size difference. So what that translates to, you can use your Google.
You know why they call it a 110 Junior or a 110 Magnum? Because America's too stupid to understand the metric system.
That's the blunt way of putting
And I can
what
say
I just
that
said.
because I'm American.
It's the blunt way of putting what I just said, exactly. And
Step your metric game up, people.
We need to. Last but not least, in my box here,
Ooh.
a little Matt Shad action. Got 2 of them. I haven't quite stepped up to Oliver's level where he gets 3 of everything. I just get 2. So I'm working on, 3 of everything kind of deal. But yeah, there's 2. Matt Shad, one of the most subtle colors, I think, in my opinion, as far as the baits go. Not very flashy. As you can see, it's a complete matte finish, the entire bait. Just imitates a lot of bait fish.
Not the hooks.
And it gets bit, not the hooks. Just
things
until you put some, G-Finesse hooks on it. But yeah, it is a, Matt Shad, Vision 110, original.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That is a classic. Okay, next box. The big one, as you can see, I opened it in excitement, but then we closed it back up. So I don't know what all's in here. I just got really excited, ripped it open. Oliver's like, let's film it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So, it's already open.
Because this is more impactful than something really cool. Like catching a big fish.
Well,
That's hard to
Nobody
catch.
wants to watch you catch a big fish. That's boring. Alright, so
these open boxes.
in the big box, yeah, we just open boxes and ramble about what's in the box. I've got some Spark Shads, 5-inch in hue. I believe I pronounced that correctly. I've got a couple packs of those, 5 packs of those in that size. The bigger Spark Shad, you believe it or not, everybody's like, oh, that's too big, but the smallmouth.
Remember the first
eat
time you
this
saw a 5-inch
really
Spark Shad? What happened?
I do. First time I saw his 5-inch Spark Shad, it was on the end of Oliver Nye's rod, okay? And he made his very first cast with me in Lake Huron. And we took him out to, the Magic Zone by my house there. His very first cast with a 5-inch Spark Shad, he caught his biggest smallmouth of his entire life. Right there, first cast, Lake Huron, and it was completely choked. So, yeah, just kind of opens your eyes a little bit to just how lethal and effective these baits are, even at the 5-inch size. It's really not that big. Smallmouth eat 5-inch perch and stuff like that all the time. So there's some Hiyu. Here's Wakasagi, another one of my favorite colors. It's got a little bit of a brown, more of like a cinnamon tone to the back with like a pearl and purple belly with a little bit of purple flake in it. Just something I like a lot. So there's 5 packs of those as well. I'm going to set those over here. They're kind of bleeding in the way. And then what else we have? Order sheet.
How do you like to rig those?
That's a good question. I personally rig these on several ways. I rig it on the Megabass body balance head, which is actually the same rig Oliver is using in that instance when he caught his personal best. One of like 3 that trip with me. Yeah, body balance head is a great way to fish it. Another way I fish it actually a lot when I'm fishing in like the deeper rocks and stuff on Lake Huron is on like a swing head, a football head with like a swinging hook. That's kind of a good way to kind of keep it from getting snagged in the rocks and kind of get good bottom contact even when you're fishing in deeper water. You can fish it on like a EWG style hook with like a screw lock with a belly weight. That's another really good way to fish it. I fish that a lot for post spawn largemouth when the grass gets a little thicker and they're just kind of keying on bait fish. That can be a really good way to fish it as well. So there's quite a variety of ways. I think those are the 3 that I use primarily right there, 3 or 4. So that's a good way to do it.
You ever put one on a bobber? Because I bought some at the gas station.
No, but we're going to find out tonight. Bobber fishing with a 5-inch bark shad. Stay tuned. Find out. Oh, look at that. More jerkbaits. Oh, got some 110s.
Ooh,
Got a couple good colors. Little staples.
reaction.
Yeah, GP stain reaction. It's Ghost pattern stain reaction. And Wagon Ayu. Two good colors. This is another one that I really like, especially on like Lake St. Clair, where you got that little bit cloudier blue water that kind of comes associated with the Great Lakes. That white kind of stands out really well in those fish. For some reason, really like that. The Wagon Ayu is a little bit more of a clear water pattern for the smallmouth and largemouth, actually. That's kind of a good one for a little bit of in-between. One of my favorites as well. What else we have? We've got some 110 Silence. This is one of my favorite colors, actually, the HT Ito Wakasagi. Wakasagi's probably, I think that was like the 2nd color that I ever picked up from Megabass, and it has been one of my favorites ever since. It's a good one. Another good one, Gizzard Shad. That is GP, what do they call it? MB Gizzard. MB Gizzard Shad. It's kind of like a greenish, little bit of like a pearlescent side to it. That's a really killer color. This is one I know.
What conditions?
What's that? What conditions? I throw it in, again, in like clear water type situations. When they're targeting smaller bait fish, this kind of color does really well when they're eating like the emerald shiners that we deal with a lot in the Great Lakes. They have a little bit of a greenish hue to them, so that color works very well in that case. But yeah, this is, again, clear, sunnier days. This one's kind of one of those more, I guess you could call it subtle patterns compared to some of the other brighter, more flashy colors. So blends in, very natural, gets bit. Check it out. 110 Silent. I like it because it, again, as I've talked about on my Instagram, actually, silence subtle. So a lot of fish see a lot of those jerkbaits, especially in like Lake St. Clair and stuff. They see a lot of jerkbaits come whizzing by their face. They're like, click, clack, click, clack. That thing comes through and they're like, wow, what's that? I'm gonna taste it. Just like that, you got yourself your biggest smallmouth of your life. It's amazing. Ooh, here we go. It's a good color. A lot of people don't really throw, actually. This is the Vision 110 FX again, the Carozera edition.
Pro Green?
Carozera, yeah, GP Pro Green.
What?
So Pro Blue's a popular one. Pro Blue's a popular one, but this is Pro Green. This is kind of a cool color. It's kind of like a more subtle version of that MB Gizzard that we just talked about. It's just a little bit more translucent, but it's there's something about it that smallmouth really like. So between you and I, check that one out sometime. And we're getting into fun stuff here. 110 Junior. We got GP Stain Reaction and Matte Shad, 2 that you saw earlier. As you can see, I don't know if you've noticed, I kind of keep it simple with my colors. I stick to ones that I'm confident in, things that are subtle, things that are bright, kind of cover your variations there. All of these are very good colors, very solid colors. Again, 90 millimeters as opposed to, I believe it's 90 millimeters, correct me if I'm wrong, 98 millimeters. So it's, you're looking at about 12 millimeters shorter than the standard 110. Where are we going to go next? What do we got here? We got some spark shads. These are the baby spark shads, so these are the 3-inch. So for those of you that have been keeping up a little bit with what I've been catching my fish on this year thus far, it has pretty much been Vision 110s or little spark shads. These things get bit. They flat out, plain out, get bit. This is the real color. And then I also have the hue, the white. That is another one of my favorites, especially in the Great Lakes. We deal with a lot of white. You know, we get a little bit of shad and stuff like that. People don't know that a lot, but there are actually quite a few little threadfin little deals. Up on Lake St. Clair has a lot of them. Huron has a lot of them. So yeah, and they definitely eat white stuff. White bass is another thing too that they target for certain windows during the year. And that color imitates it really well.
I seen it.
Yeah, Oliver seen it with his own eyes. Oh, what's next? Xplose.
You know about that one?
I don't know nothing about that. That's we're gonna tuck that one up. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Check that bait out. That thing's sick. It a lot of people think it's like spy bait, similar to like the original ones from like Duo and stuff. But this thing's even cooler because this one's even more slow sinking, and you can fish it both as a spy bait and as a topwater. What? How do you fish it as a topwater? Okay, let me tell you. You can take this bait, cast it out, steady retrieve it, and those props will keep that bad boy right up on top and keep it buzzing. Smallmouth go absolutely nuts for this thing. Saw it firsthand on the fall road tour. If you guys watched any of that footage from last year, you saw Oliver threw that thing. Yeah, look up here. I think we're gonna put a couple links to a couple of those videos up here. Oliver pretty much threw this thing like nonstop. Like we couldn't get him to put it down. He was in his sleep throwing the Xplose like that whole road tour. But he caught some really big fish doing it, and even a walleye and stuff too. Like, what? But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's the cool part is when they miss it, if they do miss it, you can slow it down and it immediately goes down in the water and keeps doing the cool motion, vibing, wiggling, and they come back and crush it every time.
You can see that in the tackle breakdown.
Tackle breakdown. That's true. We did a tackle breakdown. Check that out up here. So another video for you to watch later.
Why do you keep pointing into the air? It's weird.
I don't know. This guy keeps telling me that we're gonna put links up there or something. Okay, this is one of my favorite crankbaits. A lot of people ask me, what's your favorite bait from Megabass? Oftentimes I kind of, I give them a couple because I can't really pick one. But always in that top is a Deep X 300. This is what I've caught. This bait right here, this exact color and pattern and bait is what my very first day throwing one of the Deep X series from Megabass, went out and caught a 6 1/4 smallie, which at the time was my PB on it, and like 3 other over 5 1/2. It was just ridiculous. And then I had to run back to hide from the waves. But yeah, caught some of my biggest fish ever on this bait right here. This is the regular Megabass Sexy Shad. This is the blue back mat chartreuse. Both of these two colors are some of my favorites for the Great Lakes. Learn a little bit about what I like to use today.
Now you just gotta follow him and find his spots.
I'll send you some waypoints. Just let me know. Just kidding.
I already stole them. They'll be on eBay later.
Going to the highest bidder. Megabass Flap Slap.
Don't look at the hashtag.
Don't look at the hashtag. Yeah, stay away from the hashtag on Instagram. It's scary. But yeah, the bait itself is not scary. Those of you who have fished with me know that I have a bait that I affectionately call Mr. Flappy, and he has caught me personally. He's caught me almost 80 fish over 4 pounds, and in Michigan that's pretty dang good. That one bait has caught a lot of fish. Maybe I'll upload a picture on my Instagram, like a macro shot of all the teeth marks at some point. But it is actually this exact color, this exact bait. This is the shallow runner. I actually fish it quite a bit in the springtime. Like in places I would throw a spinnerbait before the grass gets real thick, and you'd be amazed at the number of fish that you'll catch on this in an area that you just went through. So Flap Slap, check it out. If you're not using it already, you should be. And then, last but not least, I have
a problem?
Yes, well, we already knew that. A pile of dark sleepers.
My goodness.
This is a bunch of them. There's a bunch of different sizes in here, a bunch of different colors. Pretty much all of them work. All the sizes work, different situations, different scenarios. But I will put them down so I don't look like a fool and show you a couple and kind of talk to you through what, yeah. Okay, for those of you that don't know, if you haven't already seen the dark sleeper, which you'd be crazy if you haven't, it's everywhere. It is a Megabass Gobi style bait. Comes in 3/8, half, and 3/4 in the U.S. They have like 10 or 12 really good colors. They kind of cover all your different bases. Natural, your obnoxious, your bright ones, which ironically enough is the one that I was crushing them on last week up on Huron. Just swimming it. You can drag it like a tube. You can crawl it along the bottom like a slow swim bait. You can dead stick it, like fish it like a jig. You can retrieve it like a stinking spark shad. They choke it. I have some pictures. I'll have some video up on my YouTube channel at some point of available up here of a ridiculous like 80 fish flurry with my buddy Connor up in the northern portion of Huron from this spring. We caught 85 fish. It was insane. They were choking at every cast, like this bait right here. Check these out. These things are cool. They're really well priced. They hold up pretty well actually, which is really cool. Even dragging them through the rocks, you know, and catching lots of big smallmouth on them. So yeah, so that's why I have, as you can see,
What's well priced?
pile. I believe they retail for $6.99. Am I correct? In the U.S.
How many fish do you average on each bait?
I personally, I know that day I caught 35 on one, and I had no problem with it. It was still fine. In certain scenarios, I bet you'd be looking at probably about a 25 fish average, 30 fish average, but I don't know. It held up really well for me, and I still fished that same one. So I don't know. What about you, Oliver? What do you average on yours? You have a number?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
A
So
lot.
yeah, a lot. It catches a lot and it holds up really well.
For $7.
Yeah, for $7, you can't beat it. Especially you get the Megabass name brand. So that's good stuff. You know it's quality. Dude's got a really nice body roll to it, a little subtle tail kick. And I think that's kind of why they like it. So
Where's the hook at?
that's amazing number 10.
All this propaganda.
Right. Yeah. Right in there. I don't know if you see that dorsal fin. That is the hook hidden away. That's
I don't get it. Where's the hook at?
Yeah. It's hidden in the top dorsal fin. We get that question a lot. That's why he's saying that. In the top dorsal fin, the hook is protected. So it's really cool.
So how do you hook the
swim
fish?
You can swim it through the weeds. Dang it, let me get there. You can swim it through the weeds nice and slow, or in the rocks nice and slow, and your hook point's not going to get all rolled over on the rocks because it's protected. Wow. And yeah, the typical Megabass ingenuity. Good stuff right here. The hook is protected. Keeps it nice, nice and subtle. Fish don't see it. You got them. Hookup ratio is great. Those fins actually do fold down nicely when they do bites. You don't have to worry about the hookup ratio. Good stuff. But yeah, that is everything I have. My ridiculous order here from Megabass. Just another day. Another good day. Lots of good product. Yeah, with those boys stealing my baits there. But yeah, they're all good products. Hopefully that will help you actually understand something about some of these baits that you may not know before. How I personally use them. This is no propaganda. This is all honest to goodness truth. And if you don't believe that I catch fish on these baits, you can go to my Instagram page, and they're pretty much all tagged right there on the page with the fish. So stay tuned.
I wish there was a
go get some
Cobi
fish.
Pellerito when I was coming up, because all I could go by was what I could find on the internet and my terrible translations. And, some really bad guesses a lot of times.
With a lot of these Megabass baits, at least. Yeah. It can be hard to understand, because not a lot of people have fished this stuff at some point, and so it can be kind of hard to understand which certain baits do or what the variations are and this and that. But you do your research, or you shoot me a DM. I'll get you straightened out with what you need to know. I have a problem, as you can see, and so I know a lot about these baits and these different stuff. So always glad to help out. Myself or Oliver and I will get you squared away with what you need to know, and they catch fish, man. Honest to goodness truth. I use it because I believe in it.
What do you guys want to see us jump into? Maybe we can do a tackle breakdown for you. Flap slap.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I
Dark
can do a flap
sleeper.
slap.
Let's hear some comments.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments below. We'll get you squared away with what you need to know.
And then tell them all that other stuff that I hate to tell them all the time.
But the like, subscribe, and follow. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you're not already, which I don't know why you wouldn't be already, subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Check out Oliver and I and myself's personal Instagrams. Check out my YouTube channel here, and comment and like and let us know what you think. We're always open for discussion. Honest to goodness truth.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, hit the yeah. I don't. Sorry, I'm not a YouTube guy, but yeah.
I don't know.
Hit the bell.
You are a YouTube guy. Look,
I got a
you're
YouTube
right
channel
here.
right here. Yeah, that's true.
Hello?
Look at me. We need to be catching
Hello?
fish. Need to be catching fish.
Oh, hey, look,
make people
we're
sick.
going full YouTube. Never go full
Don't
YouTube.
do it. Don't do it.
You can't go full YouTube.
All right, but yeah,